Hello everyone, this is implant planning case has done on Blue Sky Bio and finished to both our stackable guides in action using a Blender for Dental. Either you are doing your plan in another software, like here I used Blue Sky Bio software to do my implant planning and finishing this by doing stackable guides on Blender for Dental software. The idea of stackable guides is to make multiple layers, the base one and the top, secondary one and tertiary one, and even more layers to add on. All you need to know is to export your STL files of the model or the denture you have used, and the sleeves of your fixation bins and the sleeves of the implant drills. All these data need to be exported into Blender for Dental software to start your stackable guide designs. Let's see. Now we will see the platform of Blender for Dental. As you can see, I have the fixation bins, tube, and I have the sleeves, and I don't have the model, so I will invert the mesh of the fitting surface of the denture to convert it into a model. This model will be the base that we start from doing or drawing our layers. I will draw the primary layers. This primary layer will be attached to the bends. These bends sleeves is to use or to fix or to hold the primary layer into bone intraorally. This primary layer will be inserted in its position using the occlusion of the teeth. Either you have pre-extraction teeth that will be extracted later, so you will use, let's see, a carrier that will carry the primary layer into action. We will see this at the end of the video. I used the denture teeth as a guide to put the primary layer with fixation pin. Number two, after the primary layer with fixation bin, now I am editing the primary layer, increasing the thickness of it, attaching two fixation pins sleeves as you can see. Number two, I am going to split, I am going to divide the denture that has been transferred to scan appliance. I will go to split this denture that has been used as surgical guide. I'm going to split it into two compartments, the superficial one or the occlusal directed one. The drill guide will be used as second layer. So primary layer, it is attached to fixation pin. Secondary layer, it is the drill layer. I have used here the occlusal plane as a cutter. It doesn't work well, so I have done it again without a lot of changes, and it has been done like this. The third layer, it is the PMA or the pickup PMA that will be used over cylinders that will be intraoral luted over the cylinders that is screwed over multi-unit. So this is the third layer, and this is the second layer, and this is the first layer. Now what we have to do is to insert the fixation pins or the stackable pins that has three forms or three shapes inside Blender from Dental. Their shapes is bending on either you are going to use magnets, you are going to use a screw, or just you are going to depend on the internal clips fit of these screws. Choose whatever you want. It's depending on your material and depending on your personal preference. Now I have inserted the attachment to the base layer, and the second part of the attachment will be glued or be fixed to the second layer. This second part, I'm going to lock its position in order not to move, and by automatic action of the software, it will go to duplicate the second attachment layer that will be attached to the secondary layer, and they also will duplicate it to be attached to the third layer. It is automatic action of the software. So now you have your attachment thickened and increased in size in order to strengthen this part of small attachment to have better strength of material after 3D printing. I have done this edit in the edit mode using proportional active. Proportional icon is active now, and I'm going to scale these parts to have strength. This is number one, this is number two, and the number three, it is the BMA. Now we will talk a little bit about the BMA. BMA either to attach the attachment directly to the outer surface of it or to add a carrier over the BMA, and this carrier will be attached to the stackable attachment. Now I'm going to draw the carrier of the BMA in order not to have any attachment of the labial surface of the BMA to decrease the time of cutting it by contra and decrease the time of finishing. It refers to or it goes to the preference of the operator, and let's say it's some sort of fancy work here. All stackable guide work, it's just for documentation, better using of documents on social media, but actually you can do it in another way, either freehand without any guide or using two guide method. It depends on the surgeon. But from design perspective, I showed you how to do the stackable guides using whatever implant planning you have used and finishing this layers and finishing this stackable attachment on Blender for Dental. If you have your case and you have done with implant planning, you can send this case to me to finish it into these stackable layers with these stackable attachment. First, you need to test the attachment after 3D printing because it is a critical issue to have 3D printed attachment that is well inserted without any interference or any problems. Can you remember that we have said the first layer, the primary layer of the fixation bed layer will be inserted in its position using a guide of the teeth? This is the guide of the teeth here that I have made to easily put, to easily fit the primary layer in its position. Here we have denture, so I have used the occlusal part of the teeth as a guide to put the first part. Now I have hide and unhide the layers to show you how many layers we have dealt with. We have dealt with a lot of layers here: the primary one, the second one, the third one, and the fourth one. Everything is in its action using the lock of the attachment in its position. It is just stackable guides with Blender for Dental. I hope you have enjoyed this, and if you have any further questions, please write it into the comments, and everything will be answered soon. And thank you for watching. Have a great time.